Hey, vinyl community, Jeff here again. Time for an unboxing. I got a big box in the mail that I wanted to rip into. I've been waiting for this for a few weeks now. I was expecting it, and then it was mailed, and then you get anxious and you wait for the mailman. You're like, why is it taking so long, and why are they taking it? Anyway, so here it is. And I know what this is. This is from Rox Records, and it is a box set that they just reissued of Human Sacrifice, released by Vengeance Rising. So, if you're not familiar with Vengeance Rising, they are they were, the album, they had a demo in '87. The album came out a year or two later, and they were like early '80s thrash, but they were in the Christian realm. It was a Christian thrash band, and that was kind of a new territory. They were really one of the more aggressive bands at the time as far as the vocal attack, and borderline deathy, but not really death metal per se. It was heavier than thrash. You had like bands like Deliverance in the scene that were thrash around that same time. Around the same time. So thrash was starting to break into that scene, into the Christian metal scene, and so they. But this band was a little more over the top, a little more aggressive sounding vocally. So it caused a little bit of a stir in the community. But for fans of that style of music, we dug it, and they originally were called Vengeance, and then they had to change their name to Vengeance Rising because of that band overseas. What's his face was in a band. He went on to do Ariana, whatever. I think that he did Vengeance, and so they had to change the name to Vengeance Rising. And so you'll see releases out there in both. But anyway, let's see. Before we get into that, this album has been reissued numerous times, and so I have numerous copies. So they did the label that owns it did this edition in 2010, and I'm not saying this is the first one. There may have been a reissue before this time. I can't recall, but so Intense Millennium did this reissue of it, and they just called it Vengeance because it was basically a throwback to when the album came out. It was called that, and then the second pressing they had to add Rising to it. This is a double record set. They included new artwork that didn't like that much. And a second disc, which includes a live concert at Cornerstone in '88, and it include the tracks from their demo that was released before the album. If I recall, I think all the tracks from the demo did make it to the album. So, but still, I had the demo back in the day. That's where we discovered them. It was just like a little five song cassette, I believe. And so that kind of, it was trippy at the time. Really enjoyed it though, but this was probably one of the more extreme bands that I got into back in the day. So this originally 2010, I have that. And then Rox Records this is a 2017 reissue, and it includes the album remastered with the demo tracks from back in the day. So, and there are probably other reissues of this. I believe every time I got a different one, that's what the cassette used to look like. I would get one and then I'd, move along the other one. But I kept those because that was a, more recent one. And then a couple years ago, they released it on vinyl. And again, they went with just the Vengeance name. They took the Rising off. That's the Vengeance Rising way. Slightly different artwork. The hand of Bob Beeman, Sanctuary Pastor, who's still on YouTube. You can find him there. And then this one, this is on a marbled red and black marbly. And so this came out on vinyl a handful of years ago, 2020-ish, I believe. Was that? I don't know, whatever. Yeah, around 2020. All four of their albums have come out on vinyl in the past couple years. So that's great. Now they've come out with a 35th anniversary box set, which is what this is. So let's get into this and see. Okay, right on the top, we've got a little guitar pick looking thing that says 35th anniversary. It's got the logo there. All right, that's separate from the actual box set, which is wrapped up in fragile. Must be French. All right, let's get this off. I've seen videos online. You may have already seen the videos online. Scott Waters showed a video of the box set because he was involved in the artwork and everything. And people are getting them, and I've seen other people opening up the CD box set. I bought the vinyl box set. I had the vinyl already, but again, it was kind of like the maximum way to do it. So it's a sturdy box with a big thing, a big sticker type thing on top of that, and then the back, very similar to the album itself. 35th anniversary limited edition box, limited to 100 copies, includes a Human Sacrifice CD, Human Sacrifice unreleased first mix CD, for the Human Sacrifice vinyl, and Human Sacrifice cassette, and a 12x12 booklet. Yeah, sturdy box there. Flip that over like this. It's got the foam in there that fits the box. Put it back together like that. Certificate of authenticity. I have number 50 of 100. I ordered it like real fast, so that's how fast these things are going. I think they may still have a couple. It seems like the last I saw, they said they had like 10 copies, but that was probably close to a week ago. They have 100 on vinyl, and then they had 20 with CDs. Only 20 CD kit sets, and then they had other combos where you could get, just a CD or cassettes and things like that. So yeah, I have number 50. I am right in the middle. All right. Still sealed copy. So it's the exact same vinyl that I've got here, except for this is a black vinyl edition. When they released it, it was red and black. I bought the red. So it's the same. He held back 100 of them. It's not been repressed or anything. It's the same ones that came out a couple years ago, but he held 100 of them in anticipation for this box set. So same mastering, everything like that. Same pressing, everything along that line. So I have a black copy now. I'm going to probably keep that sealed, just maybe keep the box set all together. And then here's the 12x12 book, which is mainly just a, it's kind of like what you would get in the album insert, but it is booklet format. It's got stories, it's got reviews, things from back in the day, stories from the band, clips and stuff from shows, White Throne. I have that issue somewhere. I have a box that has some White Thrones in them, and I have misplaced them, and over the past 15 years have not been able to find them. But I know I had them, and I would have never gotten rid of them. And I know I've seen them since I moved into this house 21 years ago. And I know I have them, and they have to be somewhere. And there's a box that's got probably about 6 or 7 of the issues that I had back in the day. And it's got the lyrics and pictures and information about all the releases. You can see here how many times it's been reissued on CD in 88 and 89 and 98 and 2010. Picture disc edition in 2013, which I do not have on vinyl. CD in 2017, first mix in 2018, gold disc in 2020, LP 2020 in red and black. That's what I got. And then the 2023 CD and cassette, which I believe is what they're counting this as, because the CD is a different pressing. It's actually got a black and white artwork on it like this. So this is the little poster that comes with it for the 35th pressing. Has a sticker of the cover, and then the CD now looks like this, and it is just the album, not the demo tracks on there. So it is different from the one. It's just got the that looks like it's a gatefold. I'm not sure whether I'll open this. I may just keep this intact since I have copies of this. I don't know yet. I'm not sure there's any difference to listening to this. I literally bought this because of the collector situation, just because of I'm a collector. It's got a card in it, which I believe is one of the first cards. I know we see a lot of these cards in girder and retroactive releases, but I believe this is one of the first times. Didn't they say that when I think they said that. Anyway, this is the first mix. So apparently I have a copy of this. I don't have the CD of this. Somehow I got a digital copy of this, and it's they mixed it, and then I guess at some point somebody said no, and they remixed it for the album. So this is a earlier mix, which is why it's called that. Anyway, and so it's a little different, a little bit of extra stuff, some guitar fade outs not here and there, I believe. And then the cassette on red of the album. So what would have been really cool is if they would have replicated the demo cassette. That could have been thrown in here. Just made like an exact replica of that. But anyway, so there you go. Real quick, simple stuff. And now I know I have number 50. I was in the middle of the road there. And there you go. The Vengeance Rising box set. Yeah, they kept it. It's just Vengeance on the cover there. So cool stuff. It may not be for everybody's taste. It took some getting used to back in the day because it was a little more aggressive than I really liked. But it became quickly just one of my favorite albums, and still is. And it's a lot of favorite albums, favorite album to a lot of people. because they keep reissuing it and people keep buying it and it sells out. So yeah, anyway, if you missed out on this, I mean, go check out roxrecords.com, see what's left. They probably have some of the smaller sets left. I'm not sure if the bigger box sets are still available, but you never know. Check it out, roxrecords.com. I'll see you later. Rock on and rock hard.